We'll be live here in about 8 minutes from Dickman Field. Thank you for those of you joining us on YouTube. I'll remind you during the broadcast, we can see the chat. If you'd like to actually send us a message, ask a question, we'll try to get back to you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're live from Dickman Field. I'm James Passo. I'll be your announcer on YouTube this afternoon for the Hünstetten Storm as they take on the Bonn Capitals in Game 2 of a split city series this weekend. Game 1 was played last night in Bonn, where unfortunately the Storm fell 9-11. They made a run at it, trying to come back after being down, but unfortunately it didn't come back in their favor. They had some opportunities, made some of those opportunities, but not enough. Today they look to actually even up the weekend series, one win apiece, as Jake Liberta takes the mound for us. So around the horn for the Storm this afternoon. So at first base, we'll have Phil Meyer. Second base, Sammy Guillorme. Third base, Yusmi Fernandez. At short, Petey Kiefer. Left field, Rogelio Maldonado. Center field, Ian Hardman. Right field, Oliver Yoakum. And behind the dish is Douglas Yoakum. Batting order for the Bonn Capitals this afternoon. Batting leadoff is left fielder Maurice Bendren, number 6. He'll be followed by Eric Brück, number 30, at short. Batting third, Danny Longhorst, third baseman, number 37. And batting cleanup, number 16, Terrell Joyce in right field. Number 9, Sasha Koch at first base. Number 8, Danny Sanchez at second base. In center field, number 33, Josef Rosenthal. Catcher for this afternoon for the Capitals, number 56, Eric Kunze. And the pitcher who will be hitting for himself this afternoon is Marcus Solbach. So as the Storm have taken the field and Jake Liberta has actually thrown his warm-up tosses, we'll be getting underway here shortly as we have a lovely afternoon for baseball here in Hünstetten. I know it sounds like I say that quite often, but the view here is spectacular. We do have some fans in attendance. It's always good to see people filing into the ballpark, even for an afternoon, on Sunday afternoon. So the first pitch of the afternoon from Jake Liberta. In there for a called strike one. Again, welcome to everyone who is watching us live on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Liberta's next pitch is swung on, foul tipped into the catcher's mitt for strike two. Good way to start the Sunday afternoon for our left-hander. So Liberta has his 0-2 pitch. Swung on and chopped to second, fielded by Sammy Guilherme. Throws over to Phil Meyer, but a little low, unfortunate. So the leadoff batter is on. That brings up number 30, the shortstop, Eric Brück. Our normal first baseman, Noah Lawrence, was a late scratch in the field. So Phil Meyer is taking over the first base duties this afternoon. So with one on, the first pitch is in there for a called strike on the outside. Runner at first is only taking a couple step lead off. Berta's pitch doesn't catch the top of the zone, so it is a 1-1 count. On deck is the third baseman, Danny Lankhorst. Apologies. And I'll apologize already if I get any of the Capitals names wrong, as I don't have a pronunciation guide. Pitch is swung on and hit to shallow center field. And runners advance on the throw in. So it is a shallow single. Runners advance on the throw in as the ball did fall in between the short second and third, short second and center fielders as they were running out to try to make the catch. Now then, with no outs and teammates in scoring position, is the third baseman, number 37, Danny Lankhorst. Pitch from Lankhorst is outside for ball one. Next pitch from Liberta, outside ball two. Last time we were here at Dickman Field, we did have overcast skies, which made it a little difficult to catch any balls that were popped up. Today we don't have bad skies. Actually, it's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon here. Wind isn't much of a factor, so the next pitch is chopped too short, misfielded as it pops over the third baseman's head, and it is a single, which brings in the runner from third. That little chopper to third was very active. It had some legs and decided to jump as high as it could, and it completely jumped over both our third baseman and shortstop as it entered into shallow left field. Now up to bat is the right fielder, number 16, Terrell Joyce. Joyce batting now with runners at the corners, and the first pitch he sees doesn't catch that outside zone, ball one. Runners are not taking much of a lead. Next pitch swung on and missed. 1-1 count. The Berta's 1-1 is swung on and missed, so it's now a 1-2 count. On deck is number 9, Sasha Koch, their first baseman. And Liberta gets Joyce to strike out, swinging for out number 1. With that strikeout, brings up to bat number 9, Sasha Koch. Runner's not taking much of a lead. Liberta's pitch is in there for a called strike on the outside. Looks in, has his sign. And the pitch, high for ball 1. And Liberta's 1-1 pitch. Runner is going at first. It is a swing and a miss. And it is a double steal. Double steal makes it 2-0 Capitals. So the runner at second is safe. But result is run from third comes across. Next pitch is fouled at the plate. Strike 2. On deck is the second baseman for the Capitals, number 8, Danny Sanchez. Alberta takes a long look back at the runner at second. And his pitch swung on and fouled into the growing wheat field we have behind us. Can't see it from the camera angle, but you can see some of the Raps field in full bloom. Looks very lovely, full yellow. And I do see a big kid running after the ball. And Liberta's pitch is taken high for ball 2. Liberta's still having that long look back. So now, unfortunately, we have a full count. One out here and a runner at second. And ball 4. Ball is up and out of the zone. Brings up to bat number 8, Danny Sanchez, the second baseman. And the right-hander is in the box. Teammates at second and first with one away here in the top of the first. First pitch he sees. Bit of a pitch out. Ball 1. Runner at first was able to scamper back before any throw could be made by Yoakum. And Liberta steps off the rubber as the runner at second was dancing a bit. Liberta's pitch, doesn't get the call. Ball 2. Must have been just a little high of the home plate umpire's zone for this afternoon. 2-0 pitch is in there for called strike. Oh. But Liberta tries to go back in the same place. Apparently, the ball is back up just out of the zone, so it is now a 3-1 count on the second baseman from the Capitals. Ball is swung on and snagged by the third baseman on a line drive out number 2. Nice reflexes there by Yusmi Fernandez. Now with 2 out and 2 on, brings up the center fielder, number 33, Yusuf Rosenthal. And the right-handed hitting Rosenthal is coming into the box. 2 outs and 2 on for Capitals. Pitch from Liberta gets away. Wild pitch. Runners advance. Looks like the ball slipped out of Liberta's fingers as he delivered. Rosenthal now has runners in scoring position with 2 outs in the top of the first. The 1-0 pitch outside, ball 2. Two-zero pitch is swung on and hit. Unfortunately, lands in shallow center field. 1 run is across. Runner at second is now at third. So with 2 outs, runners at the corners brings up the pitcher, Marcus Solbach. So pitchers have the option of hitting for themselves or having a DH. And the Capitals are sending their pitcher up to bat for himself this game. First pitch from Liberta is high, ball 1. Runners not having much of a lead. Next pitch swung on and hit. Foul out of play behind home plate. Several kids running after this foul ball. Well, see if you can find it. Grass isn't that tall. Now Liberta's 1-1 pitch. In there, swinging, strike 2. Liberta has come set. Runner at first advances. Stolen base. Runner at third danced off the bag, but quickly went back. Drew the throw of our catcher. Catcher did not throw the ball over, but did act like he was doing that to keep the runner from advancing. 1 ball, 2 strike, 2 out. Runners at second and third. Oh, Liberta doesn't get that outside high corner. Ball 2. The 2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So 3 runners come across for the Capitals. Going into the bottom of the first, Capitals 3, Storm nothing. As the ball is being thrown around the field, going into the bottom of the first. Batting order for the Storm this afternoon. Batting leadoff, number 8, Sammy Guillerme, followed by number 17, Yusme Fernandez. Batting third, our first baseman, number 18, Petey Kiefer. Batting cleanup, our first baseman this afternoon, number 31, Phil Meyer. He'll be followed by the designated hitter, number 48, Orlando Del Moro. Followed by 26, Oliver Yoakum. Number 53, Rogelio Maldonado. Ian Hartman, and batting ninth, number 22, Douglas Yoakum. And Marcus Solbach, the pitcher for the Capitals, is finished with his warm-up tosses. That brings up to bat our right-handed hitting second baseman, Sammy Guillerme. And the first pitch to Guillerme, low for ball one. The 1-0 catches that inside bottom part of the plate, so it is now a 1-1 count. Guillerme has to lean out of the next pitch, a little two inside, ball two. The 2-1 is swung on and hit to his counterpart at second base, throws over for out number one. That'll bring up to bat number 17, our third baseman, Yusme Fernandez. Our switch-hitting third baseman is going to be batting left against the right-handed Solbach from the Capitals. First pitch he sees, tries to lay down a bunt, but the ball is low. So strike one. Not a bad idea to lay down a bunt when he's batting as a lefty. Next pitch swung on, foul tipped at the plate. Catches the inside of the leg of the catcher from the Capitals. So that'll lead the home plate umpire to go out and talk to the catcher, just to talk to the pitcher. Gives the catcher a bit of a breather. Definitely have to catch your breath after catching a ball there. Unfortunately for Fernandez, it is an 0-2 count with the missed bunt and the foul tip at the plate. Next pitch is high. The 1-2 is hit for a single to left field. First hit of the afternoon for the Storm is that single to left field, shallow left field, which will bring up to bat our left-handed hitting shortstop, number 18, Petey Kiefer. Kiefer batting with a teammate at first. First pitch he sees is outside for ball one. The 1-0 pitch in there, called strike one. Now the 1-1 to Petey Kiefer. High and outside, ball two. Fernandez not taking more than a step or two lead off at first. On deck is Phil Meyer. Runner going, hit and run play. Petey Kiefer sends it high, sends it deep, and it falls at the it falls at the warning track. Right fielder does not have a clean play on it. Gets the ball in. Unfortunately, it's just a very loud double. Yeah, the wind we had the past few weekends, we would have actually seen a 2-run home run. Here comes Phil Meyer, our first baseman, batting now 1 out, 2 on. Runners in scoring position for Meyer. Peter Kiefer gave that ball a nice ride. Thought for sure he was going to have his second home run of the season. And the right fielder just missed the catch in the warning track. Now with 2 on and 1 out, the first pitch to Phil Meyer. He shows bunt, almost gets the ball in his helmet as he pulls the bat back. Ball 1. Now the 1-0 is swung on and fouled behind home plate. On deck is our designated hitter, Orlando Del Moro. Meyer tries to drop down the bunt. Unfortunately, ball is thrown a little bit low, so is fouled behind home plate. Count now is 1-2 to our first baseman. Pitch swung on, fouled. Same place the bunt just went, so it keeps the bat alive. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on for Storm here in the bottom of the first. Pitch to Meyer is up and out of the zone. Ball 2. Now the 2-2 from Solbach. Swung on and fouled out of play into the growing wheat field, as I do see a couple more kids going after it. The more they realize the ball is over there, the more they run for it. Kids love the souvenir balls. Now the 2-2. Low in the zone, couldn't get wood on it, so unfortunately it is a strike 2 for out number 2. And that brings up to bat our right-handed hitting designated hitter, number 48, Orlando Del Moro. Del Moro batting with 2 on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch he sees inside, ball 1. As I see the little one who went after that foul ball, proudly showing it to his mom. Balls have the DBL logo on the balls as we are in the inaugural season of the Deutsche Baseball Liga. Pitch 2 is high. 2 balls, no strike count to our designated hitter. Runners are going on contact if Del Moro is able to get wood on the ball. Swung on, couldn't catch up to the heater. Swinging strike 1. On deck is our right fielder, Oliver Yoakum. Now the 2-1. Check swing. Ball 3. First base umpire agrees it is not a swing. No, 3-1 pitch swung on. Again, could not catch up with the heat. Swinging strike 2. DeMaro's able to get wood on that ball. Unfortunately, he lines it to center field for out number 3. Storm get base runners and get those base runners into scoring position. Unfortunately, they're not able to bring them home. After 1, Capitals 3, Storm nothing. As we're coming into the top of the second inning, Storm down by 3. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Dickman Field. Sun's out, little breeze, which makes it a little fresh. I do see a mixture of people dressing as if it is freezing cold and people who are wearing shorts and short sleeve t-shirts. Just depends on if you're in the sun or the shade. Here in the press box, it's pleasant as Jake Liberta is getting his warm-up tosses. Capitals will be sending top of their order back to start this second inning. Apologies, this is not the start of their lineup. Coming up to bat now is the pitcher batting for himself, Marcus Solbach. First pitch outside, ball 1. The last batter of the top of the first actually was the catcher, number 56, Eric Kuntz. Solbach fouls. Second pitch he sees down line, so it is a 1-1 count. On deck is number 6, Maurice Bendren. The Liberta's 1-1, swung on a miss, strike 2. So good morning, Cincinnati. I see you on our chat here on YouTube. Next pitch swung on, fouled directly to the net. Pitcher stays alive in his at bat. Berta's next pitch does not catch the top of the zone. It's now a 2-2 count. Looked like Liberta was trying to get his counterpart from the Capitals to swing at something that was just a little out of the zone. 2-2. Swung on and fouled into the wheat field again. This time a different kid is running after it. Looks like it's actually one of the Bonn Capitals themselves. But aren't all baseball players just big kids? Liberta's 2-2. Swung on and fouled at home plate. Again, keeps the at-bat alive. Fresh delivery of balls have been made to the home plate umpire. Salbach reaches out with his bat, but doesn't go all the way through the strike zone as that pitch is a bit low and outside. Ball 3. Now with a full count. Pitch swung on and hit. High, but not very strong, to left field. Caught by Rogelio Maldonado for out number 1. That brings up to bat now number 6, the left fielder, Maurice Bendren. Bendren's first base appearance as he takes ball 1. It was an error on the throw. The ball he hit to second base. Now he's batting with 1 out here in the top of the second. Second pitch he sees doesn't catch the zone. Ball 2. Now the 2-0. Low and inside, ball 3. Let's see if Bendren has a green light to swing on the 3-0. Does not. Ball doesn't catch the outside zone, so it is a walk with 1 out. Brings up the bat number 30, the shortstop Eric Brück. Brück is looking down at his third base coach, getting the signs. Bendren taking a 2-step lead off first. Pitches outside, ball 1. Liberta does like to paint that outside corner. Looks like he's still trying to see where the umpire's zone is today. Throw over. Gets the runner first back. Liberta's next pitch in the dirt, but blocked. Ball 2. On deck is Longhurst. 2-0 is outside. Ball 3. Liberta stepped off the mound, give himself a talk to calm him down. Let's see if he gets the ball in there. Catches the bottom of the zone. Strike 1. Now the 3-1 doesn't catch the zone. It is too far inside. It is ball 4. So with that walk brings up number 37, Danny Longhurst, the third baseman for the Capitals. Now with 1 out, 2 on, third baseman for the Capitals. First pitch he sees, skipped into dirt, blocked by the catcher Douglas Joachim. Unfortunately, neither short or second baseman were covering the bag. He looked like he wanted to throw down, try to pick off the runner, who did take a little bit too many steps off of this bag. Next pitch in the dirt, thrown down the first to pick off the runner. But runner's back in there, safe. See more fans actually coming in. A little late to the ballpark, but it's a Sunday afternoon. 2-0. Liberta flies that ball high, ball 3. Once again, third batter up with a 3-0 count. And Liberta loses him on a 4-pitch walk. Brings up number 16, the right fielder, Terrell Joyce. With 1 out, bases loaded, that will actually send out Lionel Shadowell to actually talk to his pitcher. Infield is being called in to discuss what to do here with the bases loaded and 1 out. There is a force out at every base. But in this case, it's not only defensive talk, it's also to calm down the pitcher. He's been trying to catch that zone, and he's not getting the call. That can cause some pitchers to get a little frustrated, but calm them down, get him out there. Here comes home plate umpire to break up the discussion at the mound. So, talk's over. Everyone back to their positions. Now up to bat with bases loaded, the right fielder, number 16, Terrell Joyce. First pitch, Joyce, just low in the zone, ball 1. Didn't look like it missed the zone by much, but it was low. The 1-0 swung on and a hit, and falls in left field. 1 runner's across, 2-run is across. Ball's being thrown back in. Runner will stop. It is a 2-run RBI double. Joyce doubles into left field as the ball falls over the head of our left fielder. Brings up the bat, number 9, the first baseman, Sasha Koch. Koch batting with 1 out now and runners in scoring position. Liberta with a long look in for his sign. And the pitch outside of the zone, ball 1. Runner's not taking that much of a lead. Berta's next pitch, still outside, ball 2. Two zero. In there, called strike. Berta actually able to get that called strike. Now the 2-1 swung on a miss, strike 2. And Liberta is able to get the swinging strikeout for out number 2. Looks like the conversation that they had at the mound, able to get Liberta the time he needed to calm down. Brings up to bat now number 8, Danny Sanchez, the second baseman for the Capitals, batting with 2 outs and 2 on. First pitch fouled back to the net. Just missed leaving the field as it hit the top of the net here. The 0-1 swung on, skied high, but playable for Phil Meyer at first for out number 3. So that ends the top of the second. Unfortunately, 2 more Capitals come across, extends their lead to 5. Going now into the bottom of the second, Capitals 5, Storm nothing. As we're going into the bottom of the second, Storm will send up Oliver Yoakum, Rogelio Maldonado, and number 11, our center fielder, Ian Hardman. That's our 1-2-3 to start the bottom of the second against Marcus Solbach. Solbach getting his warm-up tosses in. I wish we had a way to show everyone the view that we have from here at Dickman Field. From horizon to horizon, left to right, it is a beautiful Sunday afternoon. The fields are starting to turn yellow, the ones that are planted with the rapeseed, and that's where we get the yellow or the gold in our colors, as the Storm are wearing their gold tops and gray pants as a Sunday uniform. Capitals in their black tops, gray pants. First pitch from Solbach is outside, low and outside for ball 1 to Oliver Yoakum. So, next pitch is in there. Next pitch called strike on the inside. Swung on and missed for a strikeout swinging. Brings up the bat Our left fielder, number 53, Rogelio Maldonado. And the first pitch, Maldonado swung on and missed for strike one. Next pitch, swung on and hit up the middle, off the pitcher's glove, but fielded by the shortstop and quickly throws over for out number 2. Now with 2 outs, it brings up our center fielder, number 11, Ian Hardman. On deck is number 22, our catcher, Douglas Yoakum. That first pitch to Hardman is in there, low in the zone for called strike one. Next pitch swung on and tapped, slow roller to second, fires over, and it's a quick 1-2-3, bottom of the second for the Storm. So, that was a quick one. Going now into the top of the third. So, coming now into the top of the third, Storm down by 5 early. Coming at the bat now is the center fielder for the Capitals, number 33, Josef Rodenthal. It'll be Rosenthal, Kuntz, and Salbach. 1-2-3 for the Disciples here in the top of the third. Shows bunt, but that pitch from Liberta is in there for a called strike one. Berta's next pitch outside, ball one. So it's now a 1-ball, 1-strike count on the center fielder. The 1-1 from Liberta. Just a bit high, ball 2. Berta's next pitch is outside zone, ball 3. The 3-1 pitch is fouled off behind home plate. It's now a full count on the center fielder, Rosenthal. And the 3-2 lost him. Ball doesn't catch that top outside corner, which where Liberta has been trying to get his pitch to fall in. It's a leadoff walk to start the third inning, brings up the bat number 56, the catcher, Eric Kuntz. First pitch outside, ball one. Next pitch swung on and splits the left and center fielders, rolls all the way to the warning track. Runner from first coming in to score as it is a RBI double for Rosenthal. That'll for Kuntz. Sorry, Rosenthal comes across the score from first. Stand-up double, RBI double for Kuntz. Brings up the bat the pitcher, Marcus Solbach. Solbach batting with no outs, runner at second, and his lead has increased 6-0. On deck is number 6, Maurice Bindren. Berta's pitch is outside, ball one. I do see some warm-up action in the Storm bullpen. Next pitch swung on, missed. Strike one. Now it's 2-1 on the Capitals pitcher. Two one swung on and hit, skied high, playable, and caught by Semi Girame. Made a long run from second base for out number one. Brings up the bat number 6, Maurice Bindren. Maurice Bindren has been on base first and second inning. Let's see if we can break that trend here. Roberto look back at second. Pitch is in there for a called strike. So it's a good afternoon. Guten Nachmittag, Kimmets. I see you in the chat. Curveball doesn't curve down. Ball one. Berta looking back at the runner at second. The 1-1 swung on, hit, and just inside the line in right field. Runner's going to, yep. It is a sliding in. It is an RBI single. He advances on the throw. Oh, being ruled a double. So it is an RBI double. Brings up the bat the shortstop, Eric Brook. It is now 7-0 Capitals, and that'll do it for Jake Liberta. Liberta at 85 pitches in just the 2 1/3 inning. Not the afternoon Liberta was wanting. That'll bring in number 12, Sebastian Morales, in relief. Sebastian Morales coming in relief. Sebastian Morales coming in relief of Jake Liberta. Liberta, 2 1/3 innings, 85 pitches. Three strikeouts on the afternoon. Wasn't able to get that outside corner that he usually likes to live on. Now that Morales is warmed up, that brings up the bat. Number 30, the shortstop, Eric Brook. Brook coming up to bat now. Runner at second and one out. First pitch from Morales. In there, called strike one, top of the zone. Ball inside. 1-1 count. Now the 1-1 from Morales. Swung on, skied high, deep center field. Hardman tracking. Does not make the catch. Throws the ball back in. It is a deep RBI stand-up double. Looked like he had an over-the-shoulder catch, but ball fell in front of him, and he's able to grab the ball on the bounce, throw it in. Unfortunately, it is an RBI stand-up double. Brings up the bat. Number 37, Langhurst. On deck is Joyce. Morales' pitch is outside and low for ball one. Look back at second. Pitch is outside, ball two. Morales taking a long look in. Swung on and hit. Out of play behind home plate. Morales with another long look in. has a sign from Yoakum, and the 2-1 curved in there. Called strike 2. Runner at second, off base, but does not make a break for third as the ball is trapped at home. Now full count. On deck is Joyce. Pitch swung on and hit. Lands in front of the left fielder who's able to get the ball back into the infield. It is a single for Lankhurst. Now with 1 out and runners at the corners, it brings up the right fielder from the Capitals, number 16, Terrell Joyce. Throw down that is not in time. Runners back safely at first. Apparently the batter did not swing. He was able to hold up. Runner is going now. Foul tip. Hit and run was in play. But Joyce was only able to get the end of the bat on the ball, fouling it back to the screen. Runners will have to go back to their bases. It is a 1-1 count now. Pitch doesn't catch his own. 2-1. Morales has his sign. A little bit of a cross up between him and the catcher, but ball doesn't go too far. Runners stay at their bases. It is now a 3-1 count. Pitch from Morales is fouled back to the net. Gives us a full count now. On deck is the first baseman for the Capitals, Koch. Now the 3-2. Swung on and tapped and foul. Just bounced foul. Not sure if the runner at third, Brook, actually was able, if he may have tapped it with his foot as he tried jumping over it. The end result is a foul ball. Joyce's at bat stays alive. Now the 3-2. In there for a called strike 3. Looking. Nice curveball. Does catch that inside part of the strike zone. Route number 2. Brings up the bat number 9, the first baseman for the Capitals, Sasha Koch, batting now with 2 outs. Runners at the corners. Pitch Morales swung on and hit. Gobbled up by the third baseman. Throws over to second for the force out to end the inning. Damage is done, though, as 3 Capitals come across in that top of the third inning. Capitals now lead 8-0. As we come into the bottom of the third inning, Storm down. It'll be Douglas, Yoakum, Sammy Yerme, and Yusmi Fernandez. 1, 2, 3. So coming up to bat now is our catcher, number 22, Douglas Yoakum. The first pitch of Yoakum. Swung on and hit, skied high. And caught by the left fielder at the warning track. Sounded nice, gave it a ride, but with no wind, that ball didn't carry. 1 pitch, 1 out. Unfortunate. But now it brings up number 8, Sammy Guillerme. First pitch, Guillerme in the dirt, ball 1. That ball by Douglas Yoakum would have been out of the park last weekend, as we did have a mighty strong wind blowing. Unfortunately, the wind is pretty flat today. Guillerme just found a ball back behind home plate here into the wheat field. I see a few kids running after it. The 1-1 to Guillerme. Fouled down the first base line and out of play. See if the same group of kids run after that ball as well. Guillerme chops the next pitch. Throw is offline. Guillerme is able to make second on the throw. It'll be an error on the throw. Now that brings up the bat number 17, our third baseman, Yusmi Fernandez. Guillerme is able to make second on that error from the shortstop. Now with 1 out, brings up Yusmi Fernandez. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Guillerme has a nice lead off of second, but can't go anywhere as that ball is fouled at home plate. Looks like Fernandez fouled it off his foot, fouled it off his person. Couldn't see exactly where, but everyone at home stepped out of the way. I don't know if it caught more than one person on that foul ball, but either way, it is a 1-1 count now. Ball comes way inside. Ball 2. Fernandez actually had to duck and almost fell back trying to pull a neo to avoid getting hit in the head by that pitch. Two one swung on and missed. Couldn't catch up to the fastball. Now the 2-2. Chopper straight back to the pitcher who has Guillerme. Throws to second, and he's back in safe. Guillerme is able to get in underneath the tag. On the fielder's choice, Guillerme is able to actually dive back in. Pitcher, instead of throwing over to first to get the force out at first, chose to try and get Guillerme, who was breaking for third. Yeah, but Guillerme was able to actually get in underneath the tag since it wasn't a force play. Now with one out, brings up Petey Kiefer, able to bat now with teammates at first and second. First pitch he sees. Ball gets away off the catcher's mitt, and both runners are able to advance on the no throw. Looks like the catcher just had a bit of a moment there where his brain didn't function. Not saying that in a derogatory way, but he just stood there with the ball, and as both runners started running, and he didn't make the throw. On that pass ball, Kiefer now has runners in scoring position with one out. So it's now 2 balls, no strikes to our shortstop. Swung on and hit. Out of play. Almost hits people standing in line, waiting to buy tickets for the concession stand. Two one to Kiefer. Swung on and hit. See it. It's a fly out. It should be deep enough to advance both runners. Yes. Sammy Guillerme is able to come in from third. Fernandez is able to advance to third on the throw. The first run of the afternoon for Storm. Now with 2 outs and a runner at third, brings up to bat our first baseman, Phil Meyer. Lankhurst at third base, not able to field the ball cleanly on that throw from center field, but even though the ball did get away from him, Fernandez wasn't able to advance because, well, he had the third baseman on top of him. First pitch to Meyer is a called strike. Next pitch swung on, slapped down by the pitcher, who nonchalantly picks it up and throws it over for out number 3. That ends the third inning for the Storm, but they do get a run across. Going into the top of the fourth, Bonn still in the lead. As we go into the top of the fourth inning, Sebastian Morales is still on the mound for Storm, taking his warm-up tosses. He'll face Sanchez, Rosenthal, and Kunz in this visitor half of the fourth inning. I can't say it enough on how beautiful the afternoon is here. Perfect weather for a baseball game. Couldn't ask for better weather, actually. Now stepping into the right-handed batter's box is the second baseman, number 8, Danny Sanchez. First pitch he sees is out high and outside for ball 1. Morales' next pitch doesn't catch the zone. Called ball. Not sure if that was a little high or a little too outside. Can't really tell from where the umpire and catcher set up. Third pitch of the at-bat is skied high and fouled out of play down the first base line. I do see a Capital player running out to get the ball himself. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count now. Next pitch doesn't curve and catch the zone. It's inside, ball 3. So the 3-1 swung on and hit skied high, being tracked by both left and center, and it is to the warning track up against the wall, and he's in there with a stand-up double. That ball was hit the same place that Yoakum hit it, but unfortunately it was just out of reach of both our left fielder and our center fielder. Now coming up to bat with a runner at second is center fielder Josef Rosenthal. Now Morales has pitched to Rosenthal as he looks back at the runner at second. Swung on and softly hit. Falls in front of the left fielder who makes a barehanded catch on the bounce. Throws the ball in. Runner is in at second on aggressive base running on that throw. So it is a single, and he takes the base on the throw from the left fielder back into the infield. No outs. Runners now in scoring position. Brings up to bat number 56, the catcher, Eric Kunze. Pitch from Morales swung on and missed. A little high out of the zone. Good pitch to get him to swing at. He swung at it, so it's a swinging strike 1. Next pitch is just a bit low and outside for ball 1. Morales' 1-1 pitch. Swung on, tapped foul behind home plate to the screen. That's a 1-2 count. Now, The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Ball is thrown to third base but third base umpire says the tag was not applied, and he's safe. So on the strikeout and on the strikeout, pass ball, runner advances to first, throw down to third is apparently safe, called by the third base umpire. Brings up the bat pinch hitter number 3, Lewis Martin, pinch hitting for Salbach. First pitch to Martin, hit high and out of play behind home plate. Now the 0-1 to Martin. Low, looks like it skipped up in there, ball 1. The 1-1, outside, ball 2. Well, even though Kuntz actually struck out, he was able to make first on the pass ball, which effectively gives 4 outs in the inning to the Capitals. So now there is bases loaded and a 3-0 count now on the pinch hitter, Lewis Martin, number 3. 3-1 for Morales. Does not catch zone, so that walks in a run. On that walk brings up number 6, Maurice Bendren. Maurice Bendren batting now, bases loaded. First pitch he sees is skipped up to him for ball. Not getting that tag call at third. Has come back and hurt Storm, as that runner at third was able to walk home on the RBI walk. Next pitch doesn't catch the zone. Ball 2. The 2-0 from Morales hits the bottom of the zone for a called strike. It is a 2-ball, 1-strike count now on the left fielder from the Capitals. Now the top of the zone doesn't exist for Morales, as that pitch is a called ball. Now 3-1 with no outs and still bases loaded. Morales' pitch hit, fouled, out of play. Different kid is running after this ball, as I see One lucky young fan with 2 foul balls in his possession already. Morales looking in, getting his signs from Yoakum. Long look in. Yoakum is set up inside. And the 3-2 pitch. Time is called. Morales is taking too long. So we'll do it again. And the 3-2. Swung on and hit. Foul down the first base line and out of play. And Morales' 3-2 swung on and missed. An ever so needed strikeout. And this time it is a full strikeout as there was no free base. Brings up to bat number 30, Eric Bruick. Bruick batting with bases loaded and 1 out now. With 1 out, bases loaded, that means there is a force at every base. Morales' curveball doesn't catch the zone this time. Looked like it was the same place as the last called strike on that curveball, but it is a ball to the shortstop from the Capitals. Next pitch inside. Shortstop doesn't move. Thankfully, it didn't catch the baggy jersey, as it is now a 2-0 count. Next pitch is high for ball 3. The throw down to first is not in time to get the runner who had advanced a little more than what Douglas Yoakum wanted. With 3 balls and bases loaded, I don't expect Brooke to actually swing at this next pitch. There's no place to put him. And Morales' pitch is high, walks in another run. And so that will bring out Lionel Chatham to talk. Nope, he's go ahead and making a pitching change. He's calling in a right-hander. Once we find out who that right-hander is, we'll let you know. So the proverbial call to the bullpen has been made. It is Sammy Gameday, he'll be moving from second to the pitching rubber. Sebastian Morales with 43 pitches in his relief appearance, 3 strikeouts, but has walked in 2 runs so far in this inning. Morales will stay in. I believe he'll probably stay in at shortstop, and Petey Kiefer will probably move over to second. We'll wait and see once the warm-up tosses are finished to see if there's any position changing. Nope. All right. Looks like Petey Kiefer will stay at shortstop. Sebastian Morales will take second base position. Gameday will face number 37, the third baseman for the Capitals, Danny Langhurst. Langhurst will bat with bases loaded and 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Gameday has taken his warm-up tosses, and Langhurst is stepping into the right-handed batter's box as Gameday looks in to Oliver Yoakum to get his sign. I'm sorry, Douglas Yoakum to get his sign. First pitch in there. Inside, low, but called strike. Game's next pitch swung on and fouled. Back to the backstop for a swinging, loud swinging strike 2. Ball hitting that backstop did startle some of the fans that are sitting here behind the backstop. Oh, Game's pitch does not stay where he wanted it. Did not break on the inside. Catches the back of Langhurst, so that is getting an RBI the hard way. Bases are still loaded. Run comes across. Brings up to bat number 16, Terrell Joyce. First pitch to Joyce. In there on the inside for called strike 1. Looked like that ball from Gameday just happened to get away from him. He was trying to go inside with a curve, but ball just stayed too far inside. Oh, same thing just happened again. Gameday hits the shoulder of Joyce. Another black and blue RBI. Brings up the bat now number 9, Sasha Koch. And these are not intentional hit batsmen. You don't want to intentionally hit with the bases loaded. Next pitch is skied high, but playable for the right fielder. Yoakum tracks it all the way, makes the catch, throws it back on the infield, keeps the runners from advancing. Out number 2 has been recorded here in the top of the 4th inning. Brings up the bat number 8, the second baseman, Danny Sanchez. Gameday has his sign, and the pitch to Sanchez. Swung on and hit. And caught on a nice blue star sliding play by the center fielder, Ian Hardman. Ian Hardman had to make a long run, but fortunately he's able to track down that line drive and make out number 3. Finally bringing a close to the 4th inning. Now going into the bottom of the fourth, Storm have a lot of work to do. So after a rather long top of the fourth, we are now into the bottom of the fourth. As Storm will send up to bat Sebastian Morales, Sammy Guillerme, and Yosmi Fernandez. So Marcus Solbach still on the mound for the Capitals as he was the DH. And since he had a pinch hitter hit for him at DH, he stays on the mound as the pitcher. So now up to bat is number 12, Sebastian Morales. Swings and misses for strike one. So quickly it is 0-2. That's a duck out of the way of that next pitch, which is outside for ball one. Ball outside, ball two. Ball taken high, ball three. Oh, I see how they did there. Is replace Sebastian for the DH. So Ann correctly said Sebastian Morales was, and then Sammy Guillerme and Yosmi Fernandez. Actually, Morales was pitch hitting for Del Morro at designated hitter. And now up to bat is Oliver Yoakum after Sebastian Morales strikes out swinging to start the bottom of the fourth. Quickly, Oliver Yoakum is in the hole. So it's very quickly 2 up, 2 down. As Yoakum strikes out swinging, brings up Rogelio Maldonado. First pitch is a strike to Maldonado. On deck, I see number 5, Carlos Himon. Next pitch is in there, strike 2. Pitch is outside for a ball. 1-2 count now with 2 outs to Rogelio Maldonado. Swings but cannot catch up with that ball on the outside, so it is 3 up, 3 down. So a rather short bottom of the 4th for the Storm. So going into the top of the 5th, we will have some defensive changes for the Storm. Once we have those for you, we will let you know. So defensive changes here. We have shifting over from right field to center is Oliver Yoakum. Rogelio Maldonado now over in left. And Carlos Himon Rogelio Maldonado is now in right field and Carlos Himon is in left. That's the new outfield defensive change that we have for the Storm. Yeah, Sammy Guillaume still on the mound for Storm. First pitch from Guillaume is high and inside. Ball 1 to Josef Rosenthal. That next pitch is in there for a called strike. Now the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. And the 1-2 from Guillaume hits him. Guillaume is having terrible time, unfortunately, of throwing that curve on the inside. So it is a hit batsman to lead off the top of the 5th inning. Now with 1 on, coming up to bat now is number 56, the catcher, Eric Kunze. Pitch misses zone, ball 1. Next pitch, high, ball 2. 2-0. In there for a called strike one. Not able. Oh, sorry. My apologies here. Able to hit that zone for a called strike two, but the next pitch doesn't catch the zone. So now have a full count. Ball is swung on, fielded by Petey Kiefer, steps on second for out number one. Phil Meyer was able to leap, making every centimeter count on that wingspan that he has, catches the ball and falls down on first base for the double play. After that double play, we now have the designated hitter, number 3, Lewis Martin. First pitch is outside for ball one. Game's next pitch skied high, stays on the infield. Oh, floats just into shallow right. But Sebastian Morales is able to actually make the catch for out number 3. The first 1-2-3 inning the Storm have had all afternoon. So, going into the bottom of the fifth, Storm need runs. Capitals 12, Storm 1. As we're going into the bottom of the fifth, like I said, Storm in need of runs. They'll send up Carlos Himon. It'll be Carlos Himon, Oliver Yoakum. Excuse me, it's Carlos Himon, Douglas Yoakum, and Sammy Gameday. Himon with his first at bat of the afternoon. First pitch he sees, swung on and missed for strike one. Again, I thank all of you who are tuning in live on YouTube. Ooh. Pitch catches the outside for a called strike two. Next pitch doesn't catch the zone. Catcher still set in the same position. 1 ball, 2 strike count now on Himon. But doesn't matter as he swings and misses at the next pitch. So it is a swinging strikeout. Brings up to bat now Douglas Yoakum. Last at bat, Douglas Yoakum gave the ball a ride. Unfortunately, it was caught. First pitch he sees, swung on a miss, low in the zone, strike one. On deck is Sammy Guillerme. Yoakum doesn't swing at the next pitch. Looked outside, but it's called strike. Quickly, it's 0-2 on our catcher. Once again, catcher doesn't move. Pitch looks in the same position, but not called a strike this time. 1-2 is the count. Way outside, ball two. Yoakum skies it high, but behind home plate and just over the press box into the wheat field. Several little ones are running after it this time. I love seeing that. They can either keep the ball or bring it back to the concession stand for a free treat. Depends on what the parent allows the kid to do. Yoakum unable to catch up to the next pitch, swung on and missed, so it is 2 up, 2 down, 2 swinging strikeouts for the Storm. Brings at the bat our pitcher, number 8, Sammy Guillerme. First pitch to Guillerme doesn't catch the top of the zone. Ball one. Guillerme makes it on base. Yoshimi Fernandez will come at the bat as he is on deck. Pitch to Guillerme is a called strike. Next pitch skied high. And right fielder's able to get underneath it for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Storm. Not what we were looking for, but that closes out the 5th inning. We're going into the 6th. Capitals 12, Storm 1. As we are coming into the top of the 6th inning, Sammy Guillerme taking his warm-up tosses. We have some other DBL action this afternoon. We have 2 finals. The final from Cologne, the Cologne Cardinals beat the Untouchables of Paderborn 10-2. The other action we have this afternoon, the Gauting Indians hosting the Gegenberger Legionnaires. They lost 10-2 to the Legionnaires. Guillerme is warmed up. Brings up the bat, number 6, Maurice Bendrin. Apologies. Thank you to everyone who has been staying with us this afternoon on YouTube. Crowd here at Dickman Field is still actually quite large. Everyone out enjoying the lovely weather. The sunshine here in our area of Germany is making the sky nice and blue. Game's pitch to start the sixth inning is in there for a called strike. On deck is Eric Brook, who has to catch the foul tip from his teammate. Brink. I've been saying his name the whole time wrong. My apologies to the shortstop from the Capitals, Brink. Now the 0-2 is, well, just a bit of an excuse me check swing foul down the first base line. There's action in the Capitals bullpen. Guillaume uncorks a pitch that gets away from everybody, goes to the backstop, but no one's on base, so it doesn't matter. Ball one. Now the 1-2 pitch swung on and hit back to the net. Keeps the at bat alive. Home plate umpire is asking for fresh delivery of balls. So again, 1 ball, 2 strike count now. Garmay's pitch is just a bit high. Ball 2. The 2-2. Again, high. Ball 3. Brennan's able to work that 0-2 now into a full count. And the ball is inside, does not catch the zone, and it is ball 4. Walk to lead off here, the 6th inning. Brings up the bat the shortstop, number 30, Eric Brink. On deck, number 37, the third baseman, Danny Langhurst. Pitch doesn't catch the zone, ball 1. Good afternoon, those of you who are tuning in. Ball is chopped down third base line and foul. Outside, ball 2. But next pitch is in there for strike. So now we have a 2-2 count on the shortstop from the Capitals. Nope, does not get the inside call. Full count. Taking a look at the schedule for next series. Swung on and hit. Rogelio Maldonado camps under it for out number 1. Brings up the bat, number 37, Danny Langhurst. Next weekend, Storm traveled to Hamburg to face the Steelers. Excuse me, sorry. Next weekend, we do have a break in the action. Ball swung on and hit. And Maldonado with out number 2. Next weekend, we have no action here for the Storm, but in 2 weekends, we will actually have road action as the Hünstetten Storm travel to Hamburg. Hamburg Steelers will host the Storm in a 2-game weekend series. After that, Storm will also be traveling to Paderborn as the I'm being corrected here in the booth. I wasn't aware that Paderborn Stadium is not finished in time, so they will be playing the games here. So the next action here at Dickman Field will be the Saturday, May 17th. First pitch will be 3 p.m. I'm being corrected, but once we get that, I'll let you know. No, no, I was right. On Saturday, May 17th, 3 p.m., first pitch here at Dickman Field as the Untouchables of Paderborn will play their home game here. Yermey's pitch is a little bit high and inside for ball 2. So we will have a weekend, 2 weekends off, no action here. Ball is swung on deep and curls foul. Well, it was a long, loud foul ball. Keeps us at 2-2 with 2 outs and a runner at first. Pitch from Yermey. Swung on in line past the third baseman for a single. Brings up the bat number 9, Sasha Koch, the first baseman for the Capitals. Yasmin Fernandez just not able to react fast enough on that screeching liner right down that third base line. So with 2 outs and 2 on, brings up Koch, and the first pitch he watches go in there for a called strike 1. Next pitch, skied high but playable in foul territory on first base line, and Phil Myers able to squeeze it and make the catch for out number 3. So another scoreless inning in relief. Going into the bottom of the 6th, once again, Storm need runs. As we're coming into the bottom of the sixth inning, Storm trailing by quite a few. On the mound is a new pitcher for the Capitals. Coming in relief of Marcus Salbach is number 47, Marcel Garreau. The left-hander Garreau coming in relief. As Salbach has 70 pitches on the afternoon, 7 strikeouts in his 5 innings of work. Ball being thrown around. Warm-up tosses are made. Coming up to bat now is our third baseman, number 17, Yosmi Fernandez. For the Storm, this bottom of the sixth inning, we'll have Fernandez, Petey Kiefer, and Phil Meyer are 1, 2, and 3 for this inning. High for ball. Outside of zone, ball 2. Garreau looking like he's trying to find the strike zone. Comes in. It is a 4-pitch walk. 4-pitch walk to lead off the bottom of the sixth inning for the Storm. Brings up the bat number 18, Petey Kiefer. Kiefer batting with a runner at first. No outs here in the bottom of the sixth. First pitch he sees catches the outside for a called strike 1. Fernandez not taking much of a lead off of first. Kiefer swings and misses at a ball low and outside for strike 2. Quickly, Kiefer is in the hole. On deck is Phil Meyer, who made the third out in the top of the sixth inning on a catch in foul territory. Kiefer swings and hits a ball that, gets, unfortunately, left fielder is able to come in and track it down for out number 1. That now brings up the bat, our first baseman for the afternoon, Phil Meyer. On deck is Sebastian Morales. Goes first pitch to Meyer. In there for a called strike. Yosmi Fernandez not taking more than a step or 2 off of first. The 0-1 to Meyer. As Fernandez does break for second and gets in there with a straight steal. Nice stolen base by our third baseman. As I said, he only had a 1 or 2 step lead off of first and didn't look like he was going to run. And on first motion from the pitcher, broke for second. Now a 1-2 count for Phil Meyer, runner at second. Low, ball 2. A look back at Fernandez at second, and the pitch in the dirt, gets away but not far enough away. So it is ball 3. And the full count pitch to Meyer. Oh, sorry, now it is a full count. My apologies. I already had him at a full count. Ball was low and out of zone. Foul tip. Meyer's able to stay alive in this at bat. And the pitch to Meyer. Low, ball 4. With 1 out, that walk brings up Sebastian Morales. Gives him an opportunity to hit with 2 on. On deck is Oliver Yoakum. Morales is now in the batter's box. First pitch he sees from the left-hander. Doesn't catch the zone. Ball 1. Couldn't tell if that ball was just outside of the strike zone or just low. Either way, it's a called ball. Next pitch is high outside. Ball 2. Shortstop was trying to run over, get the pitcher's attention as Fernandez was well off of second base. And the Capitals pitcher actually paid attention to his shortstop. He probably could have got a pick off at second. Time is called at the plate. Now Morales is back in there. Bunt laid down. It's a nicely laid bunt. Advances both runners. Sack bunt. Moves them over. Now 2 outs. Runners in scoring position. Brings up to bat number 26, Oliver Yoakum. After that sacrifice bunt, moves the runners over. First pitch to Yoakum is in there for a called strike 1. Next pitch, high. Fortunately caught by the catcher. Ball 1. Yoakum looks down, getting the signals from his skipper. Now the 1-1. Low, ball 2. Two one, swung on a miss. 2-2. On deck is Rogelio Maldonado. Now the 2-2 to Yoakum. Oh, it happens to catch the inside of the zone for a looking strike 3 to end the inning. Well, that's not how we were wanting to go. Able to get the runners over on that sack bunt, but unfortunately a Ball is able to catch the inside zone, ends the inning for Storm. Now going into the 7th, Storm still down quite a few. Game's not over yet. It's not over till it's over. And unfortunately, the Storm doesn't have many more opportunities, but they need to make the ones they have count. So going into the top of the 7th, Storm down by 11. As we start the top of the 7th inning, there will be a defensive change for the Storm as John Hanapul is going to be replacing Phil Meyer at first. John Hanapul will be taking over first base duties for the Storm here in the 7th. Sammy Guillerme is still on the mound. We have a pinch hitter for the Bonn Capitals. Pinch hitting for the Capitals is number 66, Alex Strauss. On deck is number 33, Rosenthal. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike one. But the next pitch doesn't catch the zone. Ball one. Next pitch from Strauss. Oh, out of the diving outstretched glove of our second baseman for a single. Sorry. Sebastian Morales tried as best he could, making a long run, trying to make a diving catch into shallow right field as it fell in between second, right, and the first baseman. Unfortunately, could not make the catch. So it is a leadoff single for the Capitals by their pinch hitter. Brings up the bat number 33, Josef Rosenthal. First pitch, Rosenthal gives it a long drive and up to the fence and right and left. It is a stand-up double for the center fielder. So here to start the 7th inning, it is quickly 2 hits all the way. That ball was given as much of a right as it could without staying to keep it in the park. It almost left. So with that stand-up double, brings up to bat number 56, Eric Kunze. First pitch swung on the miss, strike one. Next pitch, fortunately, doesn't hit the batter, as he does duck out of the way. Guillermo's 1-1. Outside for a ball. Runner's not taking a lead. Guillermo's 2-1 pitch is swung on and fouled behind home plate and into the wheat field as I see a happy youngster run quickly to go fetch the ball. 2-2 count. Unfortunately, Guillermo's breaking ball doesn't break and puts it in the pocket of the batter. Hit batsman loads the bases for the DH, Luis Martin. Now no outs and bases loaded to start the seventh. The DH Martin takes the first pitch he sees as a called strike. And the young lady who went running after that foul ball now has two in possession as one wasn't collected earlier. The next pitch from Guillermo is a called strike 2. Martin disagrees with the call, shaking his head at the home plate umpire. Swings at the next pitch, skies it high, playable for the left fielder who doesn't make the catch. Off his glove and left. One run is in. It is a long single for the designated hitter. Still no outs here in the top of the seventh. Brings up the bat now number 6, Maurice Brendan. Left fielder Carlos Simon is able to get his glove on it. Unfortunately, it was just off the top of the leather, leading to the run scoring from third. First pitch to Brendan is in there for a called strike. Thank you for correcting me to Guerreau's name. I thought I actually had the pronunciation down. My French is a little bit rusty, since I don't use it here in Germany. Next pitch from Guillermo doesn't catch the zone. It is a ball. Next pitch skied high, but out of play down the first base line. Do it again. Home plate umpire signaling he needs more balls. Guillermo's pitch swung on and hit. Line drive foul down the first base side. Do it again. Now home plate umpire has fresh balls. But the next pitch is square down and hit out to center field. One run is in for a long single. Now brings up the bat number 30, Eric Brink. Thank you again, Helgard. If I had a pronunciation guide, it would be helpful. Unfortunately, Capitals did not provide one. The first pitch to Brendrick is in there for a called strike. The throwback from the mound gets away from the pitcher, but No one advances. Gameday has a look in, and his pitch swung on tapped, fouling out of play towards the Storm dugout. And a good afternoon to Bill Dickman himself as he makes an appearance here in the press box. Game's next pitch, unfortunately, doesn't catch the top of the zone, so it is a called ball. 1-2 count now on Brunick. Again, ball doesn't catch the zone. 2-2. Now we have a full count. As if once again, the ball doesn't catch the zone. No place to put him. Next pitch swung on and hit just over a leaping Petey Kiefer shortstop. And the carousel keeps on moving for an RBI single. Brings up the bat number 37, Lankhurst. With that, we have a pitching change. Storm manager Lionel Chatham does not want Gameday to throw another pitch. Once I find out who the next pitcher is, I will let you know. We have a pitching change here for the Storm as our third baseman, Yosmi Fernandez, comes from third to pitching mound. He's taking his warm-up tosses. Defensive change for the Storm as well, as Sebastian Morales moves from second to third. That means that it looks like Sammy Gameday will go back to second. After Fernandez has his warm-up tosses, Lankhurst will have his at-bat. Still no outs here in the top of the seventh. Bonn Capitals leading 15-1 now. Unfortunately, Sammy Gameday was touched up for 3 runs here as the carousel kept on going. Get some nice strikes on Bonn Capital players, unfortunately could not get them out as balls were not hitting the zone. First pitch from Fernandez is in there for a called strike. When the balls don't get called strike, make sure you don't walk them, throwing it over the heart of the plate, leading to balls being hit. And that's where we are at now. Fernandez next pitch high in the zone for ball 1. The 1-1 Lankhurst doesn't get the zone apparently. Ball 2. Next pitch doesn't hit the zone either. Ball 3. And Fernandez goes inside, doesn't hit the batter, but walks in a run, so the carousel keeps on moving, unfortunately. Brings up to bat number 16, Joyce. Still no outs here in the top of the seventh. First pitch swung on and hit, skied high. And, just out of play. Fernandez had a long run from the pitcher's mound to try and make the play on it. Unfortunately, it was just right near the net, unable to make the catch in the foul territory. Now he takes the long walk back up to the mound. So what happens when you have a fielder on the mound? Ball is hit in the air, instinct takes over, and they want to try and catch the ball. The 0-1 outside for a ball. Ball 2 as it hits up high in the zone. Doesn't catch that top corner. Ooh, does not hit the inside either, so it is now a 3-1 count. Now the 3-1. Walked in another run. Carousel keeps on moving. Still no outs. Brings up the bat Sasha Koch. Lionel has already seen enough. He's going to bring back in Sebastian Morales to pitch, sending Fernandez back to third. So a pitching change here. As the Capitals just keep on walking. Morales back on the bump. Ball gets away, pass ball. Run from third scores as the runners advance on the bases. Wild pitch. Ball 1. At least now first base is open if Morales isn't able to get a strikeout and Koch walks. He actually has a base open, but he swings at the next pitch. Tapper to third. Force at it's a force at home. There is no force at home. No force at home. Unfortunately, Yoakum thought it was a force because there had been bases loaded and he needed to have tagged the runner. Run comes in from third. Now it is runners at the corners, still no out. Up to bat now is Alex Strauss with runners at the corners. Swings at that pitch. Misses. Catches his own for strike 2. Runners are not off the bag. The 0-2 low and outside for ball 1. Capitals have put up a 7 spot here in the top of the 7th. Still have no outs. Pass ball, or wild pitch, pardon, as the runner from first is able to make it up to second. It is a 2-2 count on Strauss. And we finally have the first out of the 7th recorded on a swinging strikeout. Put a halt to that carousel. Brings up to bat number 33, Eric Hünstetten. With 1 out and 2 on. First pitch swung on a miss, strike 1. Pardon, it is Josef Rosenthal as number 33. Capitals have sent so many men up, it's unfortunately hard to keep track. Next pitch is not in the zone, ball 1. Scorecard gets kind of messy when you have this many changes and this many batters facing an inning. Next pitch doesn't catch the zone, ball 2. Apologies if my surprise is annoying, but a lot of these pitches do look like they're breaking the zone. They were called strikes earlier and not now, but not arguing it. Just it's kind of weird. Next pitch is clearly high and inside for a ball. 3-1 count. Batter didn't even have to duck out of the way as it just went over his head. And walked him on that next pitch. At least the base was open. Brings up the bat now, number 56, Eric Hünstetten. Now with 1 out, first pitch to Hünstetten, swung on and hit, and caught for the second out of the inning. Himon in left field is able to make the fly-out catch for out number 2. Now brings up bat. With 2 out, designated hitter Lewis Martin up to bat with teammates on every base. First pitch he sees is a called strike 1. But the next pitch is low and out of the zone for ball. So we have a 1-1 count now with 2 outs here to the designated hitter. Next pitch swung on and hit center field and caught to end the inning. Oliver Yoakum able to track that ball all the way into deep center field and get leather on it for out number 3. Mercifully, the inning has come to an end, or the top of the inning has come to the end, rather. Now we are in the 7th inning stretch. Storm have a deep hole to climb out of, but not impossible. Going into the bottom of the 7th, Storm down. Capitals 19, Storm 1. Defensive changes for the Capitals coming into the bottom of the 7th inning. Langhurst is now over at second base. Strauss in at third. Storm will send up Rogelio Maldonado, Carlos Himon, and Oliver Yoakum. I'm sorry, Douglas Yoakum here in the bottom of the 7th inning. DBL rules state that if the Storm are not able to score 7 runs, or 9 runs, I forget what it is, we will have the run rule in effect as they are down 19-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch, Maldonado catches that inside for a called strike. Cannot catch up to the next pitch. Quickly, it is 0-2. The 0-2 catches the inside for a called strike 3, looking to start the bottom of the 7th. Brings up the bat left fielder number 5, Carlos Himon. On deck is Douglas Yoakum. First pitch to Himon is ball. Now the 1-0. Swung on and missed. 1-1. Bit high and outside for ball 2. Even here in the late innings, and fans are still here at Dickman Field. That's great to see. The 2-1 swung on, cannot catch up with it, so it is now a 2-2 count. And once again, cannot catch up to it, so it is 2 up, 2 down to start the bottom of the 7th with a swing and a miss for a called strikeout. Sorry, not with a strikeout swinging. Brings up the bat. Douglas Yoakum. Yoakum's able to get on base. Sammy Guillerme will bat. First pitch, swinging, strike 1. Swing and a miss, quickly makes it 0-2. And that's the ball game as Yoakum swings and misses for strike 3 and out number 3 as the Capitals from Bonn able to put up 19 runs on the Storm this afternoon. Did not go the way that we wanted it. Final from Dickman Field. The Bonn Capitals 19, Hünstetten Storm 1. Join us again in 2 weeks here at Dickman Field as the Untouchables of Paderborn will play their home game against the Storm here in Hünstetten. Next weekend is an off weekend for the Storm. Weekend after that, they will be in Hamburg, but the next action is in 2 weekends. Well, 3 weekends, apologies. 3 weekends from now as the Untouchables of Paderborn will be here to have their home games. Once again, final from Dickman Field. Bonn Capitals 19, Hünstetten Storm 1. Once again, I thank you for joining us here at the field and live on YouTube. I've been James Passo. Thank you very much. Have a great Sunday afternoon, and I'll see you again in 3 weekends.